What's good? Welcome into Titans Today. I'm Abby Alonso. We're doing a little bit of a different show today. Just going to kind of chop it up, more of a podcast style, give you guys my thoughts, my notes. I'll be looking down a little bit just because it's more communicative. We're going to be talking like we would if we were friends at a bar. So let's get right into it. This coming in hot. Ryan Tannehill isn't going anywhere. Ran Carthon came out and said, look, he's a Titan. He's going to be a Titan. He will be a Titan in 2023. He's not leaving. He's not going anywhere. And look, I don't think that that's a bad thing. Do you want a big, flashy quarterback to come in and change everything? Of course. But I think given the situation right now, this is probably the best thing for both sides. Of course, you got to worry about the numbers and what does that mean for contracts and what does that mean for next year? But it seems like that might be an afterthought right now, those contract negotiations. Of course, Ryan Tannehill wants to know that he's secure and he'll be taken care of moving forward, but they're not looking at that right now. They're looking at this season. Ran Carthon really came in here and said, all right, let me tell you how this is going to go. Tannehill's staying around. We're going to cut a whole bunch of guys that really aren't doing much for us to make room for others to bring in. And I don't doubt that he's gearing up to go make some big moves. However, Ryan Tannehill is not one of those cuts. He will be a Titans quarterback. Here's the funny thing, though. He didn't say that he would be the starter, but he did say he would be a Titan. I don't know if that means you rock with Malik Willis or re-sign Josh Dobbs, but he will be a Titan next season. And look, this news came in just about an hour ago, and we're giving it to you right now. That's all the more reason to go down and hit the sub button, because you can bet there are more moves coming. If this is just the beginning, it started with the cuts last week. Now we're getting news that Ryan Tannehill is here. They're not really looking in free agency for quarterbacks. You want to know what's going on, hit that sub button. That's how you get all of your news. We'll be right on top of it. And look, we like chopping it up, so why not join the family? Let's talk about Tannehill as a quarterback, though. In 2022, a little bit of a shaky season, but remember, he had that injury, that ankle injury that put him on IR. He missed 5 games, but he still threw 65.2 completion percentage, 2,500 yards, 13 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. 2 things. One, he didn't have an O-line, and he didn't really have many weapons in the receiver room. Traylon Burks was hurt a lot of the year. Your other Robert Woods struggled a little bit this season. Nick Westbrook-Ikhine had 1 game that maybe he popped off in. Racey McMath on IR. I mean, he really, his cards, the hand he was dealt was not ideal, but he made something work, and I think that's kind of what you have to look at. Did he have a little bit of a turnover problem in the past? Yes. What quarterback doesn't? I can name a few, but given his circumstances and the fact that he didn't have a strong front, he didn't have many options to throw to, you can expect to see more turnovers when your offense doesn't have a good chemistry. They never did. They've won a couple games, and then it just went downhill because they never could form that chemistry. I think Ryan Tannehill is not a bad quarterback. I don't believe he's a bad quarterback at all. In fact, I can think of multiple quarterback situations that are much worse than what is going on in Tennessee. I think Ryan Tannehill is a good game manager, and if you piece the guys around him to be a little bit more helpful with protection, with options, I think you see more of that quarterback play that you want to see and lead to more wins with. Ran Carthon said it best. He straight up said, look, it's cute to play Golden State Warriors football in September and October and when the weather is good, but the teams that play in January play tough defense and run the football. That being said, he's not looking for the big, flashy, sexy names and teams that he doesn't want all of that. He wants somebody that can put the ball where it's supposed to go, game manage, get the job done. He wants guys that are going to win games. They're going to put everything out there. And he pointed out that you play good defense and you run the football in January. 2 things that have been up in the air for the Titans recently. We're talking about maybe filling the cornerback room. You need another cornerback. That pasty was trash last season. And then we hear the Derrick Henry trade rumors going around. But if he's sitting here and pointing out that he wants to have a team that can run the football in January, I don't think Derrick Henry is being traded to the Bills. At least I hope not. And I know most of you hope not as well. Y'all were not too happy when I talked about the Derrick Henry trade rumors the other day. I saw a lot of Titans fans saying they weren't going to be Titans fans anymore if they got rid of Derrick Henry. I'm right there with you. But I don't think he's going anywhere. But Ran Carthon does bring up a great point. He's not going out and moving mountains to get these flashy guys in here. He's dealing with what he's got. He's cutting the dead weight, and he's going to bring in pieces to surround the quarterback that he has right now, who is still under contract for another year. And he's going to make do with what he's got. And look, I respect it. What is your one-word reaction to Ryan Tannehill returning to Tennessee? Are you excited to have him back? Do you think this was the right move? Are you disappointed they're not going after somebody else in free agency? I know there were a lot of talks about Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, Jimmy Garoppolo, Trey Lance, and then you hear about the draft with C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young. I even saw maybe trading up for the first round pick, which, woo, okay. But let me know what you think. Be honest. Give me your one-word reaction to Ryan Tannehill returning as a Titan down in the comment section. What does this mean for Malik Willis? Look, we've talked about Willis quite a bunch, and I want to be honest, I don't think he got a fair shot. I think he got kind of thrown into a situation that he wasn't really prepared for. And granted, as a backup, you should be ready whenever your name is called. But at the same time, the same way Ryan Tannehill wasn't able to really excel, you can't expect Malik Willis to do the same thing when he's put in the same exact situation. No O-line, no receivers or little receivers. So I don't think he's ready to be a starter. That's not what I'm saying. But I do think there's potential for him to learn from Ryan Tannehill for another year, maybe to get a better feel. Hopefully, Ran Carthon, Mike Vrabel bring in the right pieces to fit this puzzle to kind of get the offense in a better position for whoever is under center, not this season, but next season, because again, Ryan Tannehill's contract will be up after 2023. Malik Willis threw 50.8 completion percentage, 276 yards, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions in 8 games played. That's tough. That's really tough. Those aren't great stats, especially for somebody who is trying to make a case for themselves. Their starting quarterback is about to be done after this next season. They really want to come in and maybe take over. Those aren't the stats you want to see from a guy who might be taking over in a few years. But look, he deserves a fair shot. I think he'll get a little bit more of a fair shot if the offense is taken care of and the personnel is fixed. He's able to learn from Ryan Tannehill this next year. Here's the next thing. Hendon Hooker. That kid is something. He could arguably be named the face of college football before his ACL injury. And that ACL injury, of course, it hurt his draft stock, but I don't think it really hurt the football player he is. Quite honestly, I think he's going to come back better, the same, if not better, than before. The stats, what he was doing in Tennessee was incredible. In just 11 games, 69.6 completion percentage, 3,100 yards in 11 games. Let me say it louder. I know I have a mic on, but let me say it louder. 3,100 yards, 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Not only can he throw, he can run the ball. 104 carries, 430 yards, 5 touchdowns. If this is not somebody you look at in the draft, if he's still around in the later rounds, you grab him. You grab him. This is not somebody you just let go. Because, like I said, the same thing I just said about Malik Willis, learning from Ryan Tannehill, piecing the pieces together for the offense in order to build for the franchise's future. Ran Carthon said, look, I'm not rebuilding, I'm retooling. And I like that because he's keeping his quarterback under contract right now. He's going to work with it, but he's going to start putting in different pieces of the puzzle, different tools in the tool belt to be able to build forward. He's retooling so that they can continue to build. I think grabbing Hendon Hooker and putting him in your tool belt will allow you to build a huge, strong, successful franchise. He comes in, he learns from Ryan Tannehill. He's got a year to kind of acclimate himself to the NFL, even rehab the injury a little bit more. And, eventually take over. This kid is a franchise quarterback. There's no doubt. There's no question. He's a franchise quarterback. And remember, he did meet with Mike Vrabel and Ran Carthon at the Senior Bowl. It would be lovely to have him back in Tennessee. And I do think that that might still be an idea running in the back of the front office's mind. Hey, look, this kid, we're going to stick with Ryan Tannehill this season, but I still want to look at Hendon Hooker and see if we can fit him into this roster because he's worth it. He's a unit. He is an absolute athlete, a leader, and I think he could be the Titans' next franchise quarterback if they give him a shot. Should the Titans draft a quarterback in 2023? If you think maybe we should just focus on the O-line and the wide receiver position and a cornerback, we'll worry about the quarterback position next season when Ryan Tannehill is no longer under contract, or maybe they extend him, who knows. But if you think the Titans should draft a quarterback, let me know in the comments section. Type D for draft, type P for pass. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see y'all soon.